Welcome to South Paulding High School at the SportalShowcase. I'm Locke Hoover with my partner Brian Zorder, and we've got should be another great game as we've had three great games this afternoon between Campbell and Coffee County. And Campbell comes in with a 5-2 record, and Coffee comes in with a 3-0 record. Coffee is averaging 75 points a game, whereas Campbell is averaging 65 points a game. So right there, Brian, that's a 10-point difference, but with just a small sample size, it should be a close matchup.
Absolutely. We expect both these teams to run up and down the court all game long. Coffee Trojans, they had a long ride in. I looked it up, 196 miles from where we sit right now, Locke. So they came a long way, but they come in ranked number 3 in what's been really a tumultuous 6A class across the state of Georgia. Ton of turnover at the top. They lost last year in the Final 8 to Langston Hughes, who ultimately won the back-to-back championships. And this Campbell team also lost to the champ. They lost to 7A champ Meadow Creek in the Final 8 as well. So both these teams looking for more this season.
And you're right. It's like you're saying, it's still early. Players are still trying to figure out how to work with each other. Coach is trying to figure out what he's got after some of the guys he's lost, of how some of these pieces can fit in with what they need for a team. And some guys to look out for, we'll talk about all throughout the broadcast, are Terrell Burden. He's going to be the catalyst of this Campbell team. And then for this Coffee team, it's going to be Mackenzie Phaeton.
Yeah, Mackenzie McFadden and also Jayce Moore. So it's going to be an interesting run here with these guys. You got kind of smaller guards. You know, Terrell Burden, super fast guy, but he lists on the roster at 5'9", 150 pounds. And that is not what we're seeing in a lot of these bigger schools. This is a 7A school relying on a 5'9" point guard. Lightning quick. He's averaging 24 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists a game. Jayce Moore on the other side, he'll run the point as well for them. A little bit more of a shooting guard, 6'1", averaged 20 points, 11 rebounds so far early in this season. And like you said, Mackenzie McFadden, Georgia Southern signee, 16 points, 8 rebounds in this early going in the season.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be an interesting matchup too, because based on some of the coaches I've been talking to, some of the college coaches as well, they expect a fast-paced game. And it's kind of funny. Coach James Gwynn, the Campbell coach, I was able to listen to his interview with our own Kyle Sandy, in fact. Some of the things he was saying is, I love his coaching style. He described himself as animated and then organized chaos.
All right.
So when I see organized chaos, the first thing that went to my mind was a NASCAR race of just them going a bazillion miles an hour, but they're weaving in and out. And that'll be interesting to see how these two styles match up, if it's going to be a track meet or if it's from everything I've gathered, I feel like that's how it's going to be, Brian.
I think so, too. We've seen, Campbell had a good win against Hiram, but tight losses to both Marietta and Wheeler, 2 strong 7A schools that they play frequently. Coffee Trojans have just come out and blown people out so far in 6A. They don't play in this metro Atlanta area very often, so this will be teams they haven't seen each other, don't really know each other, going to have a pretty quick feeling out process. We've had great games so far here at the SportalShowcase, a beautiful South Paulding High School on the west side of Atlanta. It's been a lot of fun. This is our 4th game of the day. The last game, we had a come from behind win by Grayson over Eagle Landing Christian, 2 top-ranked teams. Getting announcements here. Let's see. Looks like number 1, Nick Clements. For Coffee. Mackenzie McFadden, number 10.
And then Jordan Moore.
Number 23, Jordan Moore.
Which, this has got to be kind of cool. We'll get to this as the game goes on as well. He gets to play with his brother, Jayce Moore, as one's a junior, one's a senior. So there's got to be that sibling rivalry kind of going on as UCern Landon's is their final starter for Coffee.
Campbell Spartans announcing their starters here. 00, Javon Sims. goes 6'8". They got some size up front.
And length as well.
Terrell Burden, their lightning fast point guard, number 3. BK Equazor. Number 5, Andrew Thomas Brown. We've been told goes by Drew Thomas. And their captain, Malik Mercer, number 11, another senior. So a senior, junior-led team there for the Campbell Spartans and Coach James Gwynn. Pernell Smith over there with the Coffee Trojans, also relying on mostly upperclassmen with his starting lineup as well.
Right, you look at this Campbell team. There's only one sophomore on the start in the roster for this varsity squad, and same goes for Coffee, as they got 2 sophomores, so very junior senior laden team for both these 2 programs. As we are about to get underway here at South Paulding High School on Sportal TV.
Yeah, a lot of size, a lot of athleticism on both of these squads. So expect this game to be won and lost in the paint a bit, though certainly going to keep an eye on the perimeter players all night long. Sims will jump this thing off.
Sims and we got McFadden jumping off of them. A quick score by Coffee.
Jayce Moore with the bucket.
Top of the key. Burden trying to slow it down the offense a little bit to set it up. Looks over the coach. Pass the cross court. Off the rim and no good. Coffee with the rebound. Here's McKenzie. They get the ball inside to Moore. In and out.
Yeah, not a bad look for Clemens. Clemens had a good wide open look at that one, but not able to knock it down.
As Campbell's setting up the offense a little bit more slow tempo. Coffee with the steal. We have a first foul.
It's going to go against Drew Thomas.
As Jayce Moore driving to the bucket will go to the line and shoot 2.
Yeah, preseason All-State second team, Jayce Moore, number 24, already getting out on the break and showing what he can do in the open floor. He pushes this offense fast off of steals and rebounds, and not hesitating at all to get into the paint. He's got all 3 of their points.
As the first bucket's good. And he connects on another one. Here's Burden.
Setting up in a man look on the defensive side is the Coffee Trojans here, and they'll look to get out and run again.
There's Moore. Pass it over to McFadden. McFadden can't connect, but looks like we have a turnover.
Yeah, I'm going to call that one out of bounds. It's going to be Campbell ball. But if you're watching this game, Coach James Gwynn, he's got to be concerned for the Campbell Spartans. They're letting the Coffee get into this offensive flow way too fast, getting out and running at every opportunity.
And from everything, it seems like they like to go fast, tempo, drive to the bucket, and that's kind of what Burden is. Tempo creator, takes contact, likes to drive to the lane. He might be filling out this Coffee defense.
Yeah, they're going to call the illegal screen on Javon Sims there. Sims was trying to free Burden and couldn't get him freed there, and that is a second foul call already in the early going here against the Campbell Spartans.
Moore takes it up top. Back over to McFadden. McFadden tries to drive over to, and it looks like we have an out of bounds, so it'll go back the other way.
Yeah, Jayce Moore stepped on the end line down there, and that was a good defensive series by Campbell. Campbell finally getting him into the half-court set, and Coffee's been running since this game started 2 minutes ago.
As you said earlier, the offense is going to go through Burden, and he sets it up, slows it down. As this looks like this Campbell team, it looks like they're trying to get the ball inside. Pull-up jumper, It's connected and good.
Yeah, that was Ikazor with the 2. Nice elbow jumper for him. Burden swings after it, can't get it. And another rebound goes to Drew Thomas.
Back the other way. Here comes Campbell. Burden driving to the bucket, pulls up and connects his first bucket of the afternoon.
Yeah, nice little runner floater there for Burden, and Burden's able to see the ball go through the basket. That should help him out. See what Clements tries to answer.
Moore over his brother. Back over to McFadden. McFadden passes it over to Moore. Far side of the court. 3 is no good.
Oh,
and
no, it was good.
It was good. Back the other way. Here
Clements
comes
getting the friendly roll, and that was a nice possession for the Coffee Trojans. They moved the ball inside, swung it outside, went cross court, and Clements was standing there all by himself for the three-pointer from the corner. Give him the 3-point lead there.
Burden looks like they're trying to work it inside. Foot was on the line, so that would be a 2. The shot is no good. Here comes Sims.
I like the way early on, Locke, that we're seeing Coffee. They want to run. They're running off steals. They're running off of missed shots. Everything gets out, and it's Jayce Moore and Nicholas Clement that are pushing the tempo. You know, that first outlet pass is immediately taken down the court, and they've used it to get into the paint and get to the free throw line for some easy shots.
I've noticed McFadden, he's touched the ball every possession for this Coffee team. They want him involved in the offense early and often. As a second free throw was good.
And Jordan Moore knocks down both of them.
9-4 early in this first period with 4:37 left.
We're seeing Campbell try to post up Javon Sims down there with Mackenzie McFadden. He's got a bit of a height advantage down there. They both listed 6'8", but that doesn't pass the eye test here, Locke.
No, and it's a lot of it has to do with that length of McFadden, just his length and his athletic ability to cover the spot that Campbell's trying to get to.
I like the way Terrell Burden's working against Nicholas Clement. He tries to put him on his back, and then we're seeing these quick, aggressive spin moves to get himself freed or into the paint. And that gets Clements with a quick foul call. First foul call on Clements, first foul call on Coffee.
As we have a few subs now for Campbell, Ben Williams is now in the ball game.
Nice drive by Burden, but he really had nowhere to go with that one.
As well as Cameron Sutherland. Sutherland, 6'3", 180-pounder. Drops the bucket.
That one was just out of control, Locke, and that's an easy charge call.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it feels like the Campbell Spartans are trying to probe this aggressive, in-your-face man defense that the Coffee Trojans have come out with, and they're not finding anything they can work with. They're not able to get the ball inside to Ikazor or to Sims, and it's really frustrating their offensive flow.
Yeah, Coffee's done a good job early in this game to hold the offense and slow the tempo down of Campbell, as we have a foul called on, I believe that's number 2, Sutherland.
Yeah, kind of just a loose ball foul. They were all fighting for the offense, the rebound down there. 3.5 minutes, 9-4 is our score here.
Burden trying to drive to the bucket, gets double teamed.
They're going to call it travel. Yeah, he's been out of control on these drives. He's having a really hard time. Nicholas Clements, also a smaller guard that's been on him. Clements is going to take a little bit of a break here. Looks like they'll probably go with Adrian Wilkerson, another smaller guard that's going to try to stick with Burden. But Burden's been a little out of control. He's had a lot of the spin moves. He's been taking a lot of contact. They got called for the illegal screen earlier when he drove the basket. So he's going to have to get it cooking if this Campbell Spartan team is going to stay in this.
As Wilkins passed the ball, tried to get it to McFadden, but it was tipped off a Campbell player, and it's still Coffee's ball, as Moore will check it in now. Over to McFadden. McFadden top of the key. Try to get it inside, lob. Nice play there. Nice setup there, too, by that Coffee County offense.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to try to throw the alley-oop, but I think he made the wise decision. That wasn't in a position where he could oop it, but goes underneath the bottom of the basket. Mackenzie McFadden with a nice finish to give him the 7-point lead here. And this Campbell Spartans offense is really struggling early in this game. They're going to need to try to get something going. Burden.
looks to drive to the bucket, trying to create his own offense. Looks like he stepped out of bounds. The bucket would have been good, but he stepped out of bounds. This 3-2 defense they're giving them is confusing this Campbell offense right now.
Well, you see the strength of Terrell Burden. He's got this lightning fast spin move, and he's able to get past his first man. But there's just a lot of size out there, and a nice defensive pressure, and that ball thrown away by number 25, Styles.
It's the length of this Coffee County team. I mean, Styles, 6'5", 235. That's not counting his reach. Pull-up jumper here is airballed by Brown.
Yeah, you know Moore's going to try to run it. He's been doing that off of every miss.
He drives it straight to the bucket and good.
Yeah, if you didn't see it there was a beautiful screen given on that play, and that really just opened up the entire possession. It was Styles, number 25, came out, gave a great screen in transition for Moore, and Moore is easily able to put that bucket in.
Back the other way now. Here comes Campbell, top of the key for Dervon. Dervon slowing it down again, trying to set up the offense. Bird getting it inside. Pull-up jumper, no good. Rebound.
Guess what? It's Jayce Moore coming out of the pack again, and he ain't stopping. Bucket and one for Jayce Moore.
And that's what we've seen early on with Moore. He catches, gets your rebound, and then drives straight to the bucket as he goes to the line for an and one. As he takes this bucket, you're about to see a replay here on Sportal TV.
Yeah, Jayce Moore just comes out of the pack so quickly, so aggressive, gets his own rebound, swings through the defense, and he's got 10 in the early going, and that is a 17-4 lead for the Coffee Trojans.
And that's just what you've been seeing this entire game, that he's that a step quicker, and he's been out and bringing, as Burrell drives the bucket, can't get it. Here comes McFadden. McFadden lays it in.
Yeah, they're going to need a timeout down there, Locke, because this thing is getting out of hand real quick. 19-4 is your score with 1:29 remaining. Campbell's offense completely out of sync. They're trying to work the ball inside to number 5, Drew Thomas. He can't score on his man one-on-one, and they're going to have to find some set plays to get some space for some of their scorers, or they're not going to be able to stay in the gym with these guys.
Yeah, like you said, they're struggling to try to figure out this Coffee County zone that they're playing, and you've seen Burrell try to drive to the bucket some. He's been unsuccessful, and we'll see how they're able to adjust as this game goes on. Burrell, top of the key, just trying to look for an option, and there's not many ones. As Sims passes it in and out for Brown. We have it going back the other way now to Coffee.
Yeah, Drew Thomas had 2 good looks at the basket there, a wide open 3, and then the follow, nothing doing. And Terrell Burden just cannot affect this game so far. They only have 4 points. They're missing pretty much everything that's going up towards the basket early here in this game.
19-4, just under a minute. Coffee leading as we have looks like a foul.
Yeah, they're going to call Javon Sims. McFadden with a nice aggressive move to the baseline from that post. Sims just tried to put too much of a body on him, and he's going to they're going to give him I guess it'll be the 1-and-1. That's the 7th foul. So in addition to struggling to put the ball in the basket, Campbell has committed 7 fouls here early in the first quarter. And their bigs are getting into foul trouble now. This has been a real tough start. Now, look, we saw this in the game earlier. Grayson was getting smacked around by Eagles Landing Christian at the half, and they came out with a rip-roaring third quarter to take over the game. So stay with us here on Sportal TV. You don't know what can happen.
As Devon takes it, he looks like there's a loose ball foul.
Yeah, they're going to call blocking on Coffee there. It's going to be out of bounds to the Campbell Spartans.
And this is a game of adjustments. Coffee's come out strong defensively, and Campbell hasn't been able to figure out how to drive to the bucket, how to get their offense going.
Terrell Burden tried to get going by Austin Owens, and Austin Owens just punched the ball away from him.
And as we've seen early on, too, this offense is going to have to go through Burden because he's their catalyst. as we have another bucket by
that is
Jayce
Jayce Moore's
Moore.
12th point in the early going. He is just a wrecking ball when he drives the basket. No one can stop him. Drew Thomas wants this thing on the block. Let's see what he can do with it.
Wide open three for Sims. Can't connect. Here comes Coffee. Looks like they'll be set up for the final shot. 13 seconds, slowing down McFadden. Looks to do it himself. Nope. Passes it over to Jayce Moore. Back to over McFadden. Drives to the bucket. Can't connect.
Yeah, nice block by Drew Thomas there to stop that McFadden drive and at least stop the bleeding for a moment. 21-4 is the shocking end of first quarter score here.
No, you're right. I was expecting a back and forth running game. We've gotten a running game, but it's been from Coffee.
Oh,
and
it's all one-sided. It's been all Jayce Moore with 12 of the 21 points here.
And you can just see Moore's quickness. Rebound, sprint straight to the bucket, looking for that layup, and then he gets contact, so he goes to the line. And like I said, McFadden's got, how many points does McFadden have?
McFadden's got 4, but he's impacted the game more than that.
Right,
like.
he's got 4 points, like you said, but he's involved in the rebound or the assist to set up Jayce Moore, because the way Jayce Moore's been playing, keep feeding him. And for this Campbell team, we've seen it and we've said it. Burden, he's their lightning rod. He's their guy that gets this offense going, gets it started. He's the tempo creator. He's quick. He takes contact, and we've seen this when he drives to the bucket.
I got to wonder if the Campbell Spartans looked at this game and said, here's a 6A team from 200 miles outside Atlanta. They don't know what they're getting themselves into, and they've taken the first punch right to the mouth. Let's see how James Gwynn's squad responds to this incredibly strong start by the Coffee Trojans. 21-4 is our score to start the second quarter.
Burden tries to slow down the offense. Pull-up jumper, nope. Burden looking to set it up, steps up. It's like he's wanting them to work it inside, but there's no move. They're just all standing around.
And that's the kind of shot Burden needs to get the offense moving. He's got 4 points, and that was a good drive. He took on 3 defenders on that play, somehow slithered through the defense, and scored over guys about a foot taller than him.
Jordan Moore now top of the key, controlling the ball for Coffee. Pass the ball inside.
Oh, that was a pretty feed by Jordan Moore. He just kind of fed that thing right through the teeth of the defense, and Styles rewards him with the finish.
Burden. They're working to get the ball inside. But they're working to get inside, but they got 4 guys on the outside. They got 1 guy they're passing in to pass out back to all 4 on the other, outside of the perimeter.
Oh, and a lucky 3 goes down for Brandon Deravine. Had a hand in the face and just sort of rose up and hit it. Shots like that should loosen up the defense at least a little, you'd hope, for them. Oh, Moore's looking at a nice 3, wide open, and everything is going in for him. He has 15 in the early going.
And the wide open is because Campbell had an early little front court press they were able to break, and then that left Moore wide open, as we've got a block now by McFadden.
Oh, that was nasty. McFadden just reached right over the top of him and punched that thing out of bounds. So Mackenzie McFadden continuing to make himself felt in different ways. You know, this guy's averaging 16 points, 8 rebounds, Georgia Southern signee, and we're seeing that athleticism from Mackenzie McFadden.
Just the length and the reach he's got is a problem. Sutherland now over to Burden. Burden got the ball stripped.
Yeah, he just coughed that one up.
Jump ball. It'll go to Coffee, I believe.
Yeah, it's going to be Coffee ball here. So I got to give Drew Thomas a little bit of a rest. That's Ben Willis checking in. So this is a small squad on the floor here. Really, the only one sort of big guy out there is Brandon Deravine, number 1.
Got a full court press already early for Campbell. McFadden takes the ball out.
I like this trapping style for them. I think this is a great move by Campbell. Coach Gwynn, see if he can get a good open look for Burden off this. Burden going against a heavy-duty double team.
Driving straight to the bucket for an open three. Off the rim, no good. There's that guy again, Moore. Got like over ahead of him.
Far.
Got behind the basket, tried to throw it up. Couldn't do it. He stepped out of bounds. 26-9. 5:30 and counting left before half.
That's the first time you can look at Jayce Moore and say he didn't convert on the fast break opportunity, because he's been a beast tonight with 15 of their 26.
As we have another turnover.
Right back in the running.
Here's Moore. Kicks the ball away. Here's Dervine.
Yeah, no one wanted to shoot it, and it ended up being Cameron Solomon.
You take it, I got it. Unfortunately, they couldn't come down with the bucket. Nice little steal there. Stick his hands out and throws right back the other way to Coffee. McFadden.
Yeah, Clements wanted it in the corner, but he turns it over to Burden.
Here's
Burden's
Burden.
back out of the break.
Burden's going to pass it. Nice, smart pass there, as you have one guy defending two people. Pass the open look. Got the foul to go shoot for two.
Yeah, Terrell Burden did a nice job of pushing the pace there and forcing Jordan Moore to make a decision. The lone defender back there with two guys to contend with, and Jordan Moore just gives a hard foul, and will send number 14, Ben Willis, to the line. Willis makes the first.
26-10, 4:48 left before half. Coffee squaring off against Campbell.
Locke, I like the change by James Gwynn. He went small with his lineups. He went to a very pressured defense. He's pressuring the ball full court, and he's pressuring the ball at the three-point line, and it's given him some better opportunities here and given him a little bit of a look at some easier buckets.
As Williams connects that second one, here comes Coffee back the other way. There's that guy Moore again. And incomplete. Now it's come back to Campbell. But you're right. It's changed the look for Coffee, because you've got more active, quick guys, slashers to the bucket, as opposed to these the post guy that they replaced it with. And now it's, like I said, game of adjustments for Coffee to adjust back to see if they can stop this little run for Campbell. As a pull-up jumper is good by Burden.
Yeah, he's got to get cooking if they're going to get back into this thing. That's his 6 point. 26-13 now, and that's a quick timeout by Pernell Smith over there on the Coffee sideline. Good timeout. He's got to adjust. He's got to settle his team in to what the new reality is of the way Campbell Spartans are going to try to attack Coffee here, and he wants to make darn sure that Burden, who averages almost 25 points, doesn't get too hot.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? Campbell got a little run. Let's call a timeout. Let's slow it down. Let's reset. Let's regroup. Reassess what we're at, and let's attack with 4:19 left before half. 26-13. Coffee in the lead over Campbell. Coffee, 6A, currently ranked number 3 in 6A. Campbell, preseason ranked number 2 in Cobb County. Just the Cobb County schools, preseason ranked number 2, currently unranked in the state of Georgia.
Yeah, Campbell off to a good start
now.
This year at 5-2, and you know they're in this battle ahead to another Moore. That is Kevon Moore, 6'3", and all 285 pounds of him. Locke. He looks every bit of it.
He does. He could be an offensive lineman for this.
I'm sure he also is.
As Burden takes the ball up to the top of the key.
Yeah, that was just too easy. They broke that press too easy, and Kevon Moore able to easily convert that for a bucket. Leads up to 15 now.
Solomon over to Burden. Burden, pull-up jumper for 3.
All right, he's getting that flame going. He's got 9 already. He's got 9 of their 16, and he is the engine.
Foul. Solomon on the foul. Another thing, too, they've almost let Solomon be more of the point guard and let Burden be more of a shooter attacker, and that's freed him up, maybe gives him, you know what, I've got a little less responsibility I don't have to set up the team as much. I can just go score and get mine.
Yeah, and it looks like he's a little bit more comfortable working from the wing than he was the top of the circle against this type of kind of aggressive matchup type of man defense that the Coffee Trojans are throwing at him. And yeah, he's even pointing. You see him right there. He pointed over there and told Brandon Derevine to give the ball to Solomon.
As you see Solomon right there took the ball up. Driving straight to the bucket. I like that.
Derevine forces the action. Kevon Moore stepped up. They're going to call the foul on him. It was interesting. We had Clements, number 1, was face guarding Burden about 25, 30 feet away from the basket. Give you another quick look here at this strong move to the hole by Brandon Derevine, who takes a ton of contact and comes down hard. He'll go to the free throw line, try to make this a 10-point game.
28-16. Coffee with 3:20 left before half. Sutherland.
That's Derevine with the bucket, his fourth point.
Derevine on the line for the first bucket as McFadden checks back in, and Eugene will take a seat for Coffee. Derevine connects on the second one. Cuts it to 10 with 3:20 left.
Yeah, that's 5 points for Derevine. And, Kevon Moore throwing a little bit of an elbow down there. Didn't like him dragging on him.
I believe that'll be on Solomon.
Yeah, and that's going to be Kevon Moore going to the free throw line. They're at 9 team fouls, so it'll be 1-1 for him. Solomon's going to head to the bench and get a little bit of an earful from Coach James Gwynn for the way he played defense on that possession.
As Malik Mercer checks back in for the Spartans. Kevon Moore connects on his first bucket.
Yeah, Moore goes 6'3", 285 on your roster sheet, so plenty of beef.
Can't connect on the second one. Here's Burden. Slowing it back down.
And they got Clement still face guarding Burden everywhere he goes, so they are not going to let him get anything easy anymore. A great driving bucket, and that was number 11, Malik Mercer.
Yep. Like you said, just saw a point of entry. Got there as Mercer go to the line to try to complete the three-point play.
Yeah, take another look at this play here by Malik Mercer. Mercer's going to drive the basket, take his man. He's unable to get that free throw to drop.
And it'll still be Coffee's ball as we've got Solomon's checking back in for...
He's going to come in for Derevine.
Derevine.
Yeah, I like these smaller lineups from Coach James Gwynn. It kind of allows him to go into this full court press, and a beautiful steal by Burden. Burden's going to go all the way. Moore sets up to take the charge.
It's no good.
It kind of froze Burden. Burden looked at him like, what are you doing? And he turns the ball over.
Yeah, like you said, it's that quickness of this Campbell team with this smaller lineup where they're able to slash and cut more, use their quickness, since early on they weren't able to get inside and drive.
Yeah, really just a heady veteran play by senior Jayce Moore. Just kind of set up to take the charge, and Burden looked at him like, what in the world's going on here? Didn't know where to go with the basketball and ended up turning it over. And as Jayce Moore steps to the free throw line, he puts in his 16th point here in the early going. He is scorching hot. He's got 16 of their 30, but it's a 10-point game here, and Campbell's fought their way back into this thing.
And that's about on par for Moore last year, averaged 19.6 points.
Yeah, but he's
rebounds.
got 16. It's not even halftime.
As
Drew Thomas is going to go to work here, working with Derevine.
Derevine drives to the bucket. Nice fake out and puts the bucket in.
Yeah, Derevine's really been a key to this up-tempo speed we've seen out of the Campbell Spartans. What are they going to call? They're going to call a foul on Derevine on the floor. Oh, jump ball. They're going to call jump ball. And, you know, Derevine, we were just saying it, he's been a key part of turning this game around. He's got 7 points. Almost all of that's come here in this second quarter, and he's really amped up the energy, and he's been able to get to the basket and convert.
And this, I feel like this is more what the Coffee County offense, the Campbell offense, as they put another one in.
And that's Burden's 11th point.
that fast-paced NASCAR style, I like to call it.
Yeah, look at Coach Gwynn. He's telling his teammates, I know what I got. We got this one. And they've cut this lead all the way down to 6. This was a 21-4 game at the end of the quarter, and they're getting outscored here now. Campbell's winning this quarter 20-9.
30-24, 2:15 left before half, and that smaller guard play has really affected this game as Coffee hasn't been able to really adjust to the full court press with the 2 guards. And now it's time for, okay, Coffee, let's see how you're going to adjust, how you're going to change your attack now that it's a 6-point game with 2:15 left before half.
Yeah, look, and the Coffee Trojans, Coach Pernell Smith, he's going to have to keep feeding Jayce Moore. Jayce Moore's getting anything and everything he wants. He's got 16 points of their 30 already. A lot of that has come in transition, and he's just pushing the pace and pushing the pace. This move to a smaller lineup by Coach Gwynn and the Campbell Spartans has slowed that down some. But I still feel like Jayce Moore can get into the paint and score in the half court if he needs to. And they're going to have to rely on that if Coffee Trojans are going to go. And they're going to pick him up here full court, setting up a bit of a full court, tries to release McFadden over the top of it. But there it is to Jayce Moore. Moore is going to find his running mate, but he traveled. That's going to be a traveling call against Adrian Wilkerson.
And how many times have they done that on the basketball court at their house? Jordan Moore to Jayce Moore. Jordan Moore's checking it in, passes to his brother Jayce Moore. They've been doing that since they were about 5, Brian.
Yeah, I think if Jayce Moore had gone to McFadden on the right wing, it would have been an easier bucket. He went to Wilkerson. Wilkerson wasn't really looking for it, and it led to a turnover. And we're back to that look we've seen with Solomon kind of handling the point guard duties and Burden working off the ball. He's got Clements eating him up, so he's got to work hard to get open.
Pull-up jumper for 3 as Burden has been able to be more of a scorer now. Fast-paced McFadden. This is what's got that Campbell offense going. That quick transition, even on this score from Campbell. Back the other way, Durden put up 3.
That is 17 points and a bit of a heat check shot for Burden, but nobody got to Jayce Moore.
Jayce Moore's wide open for an easy bucket. Solomon over to Burden. Burden looking to drive.
Well, the stars have come out tonight here, Locke, because it has been Burden and Jayce Moore, 17 and 18 points respectively.
McFadden over to Jordan Moore. He's got a walk.
Oh, yeah, he put that hard step down before the basketball, and this is going to give Campbell Spartans a chance to tie this thing up here with 1:14. Amazingly, after digging themselves a 21-4 hole, this is a one-possession game.
34-31. Coffee with a minute left. Here's Solomon. Solomon setting up the offense. Solomon was looking to pass there. Was no one open from the free throw line. Connects. Here's Moore.
Ooh, it looked like another walk there.
Could have been a walk. Getting over to Jayce Moore.
Oh, pretty no look, but McFadden can't finish.
But McFadden can't put it in as McFadden will go to the line to shoot 2. 34-33, 47 seconds left. McFadden at the line. And like you said, a great pass there by Jayce Moore. McFadden could not connect, but he does get fouled when he goes to the shoot.
Yeah, McFadden just kind of kept banging, and he managed to get himself to the free throw line. Missed the first free throw. This is a 1-point game. It looked like Coffee was going to blow Campbell, run him out of the gym.
As he misses both of the 2-point. So we'll see if they try to drive. Yep, they're going to try to drive. Not set for the last shot. As Burden drives straight to the bucket and connects.
Burden doesn't know nothing about slowing down, Locke. He's got 19 on the game, and it is all gas all the time with this guy. And 19, and it's just the first half, and he is driving against guys a foot taller than him, and he's got no fear.
And this is kind of the scouting report on Burden. Tough point guard. We've seen that. Takes contact when driving to the lane. We've seen all that as Burden passes over to Solomon. Over to Dervine. Looks like now they're going to slow it down for the last play.
He went back court. That was terrible. Deravine wasn't paying attention, didn't realize which line was the backcourt line. He says, my bad.
Yeah, looks like he was looking at that volleyball line, not the half court.
Yeah, he got lost in the colored lines there and turns it over. Trapping defense, but there's Jayce Moore to McFadden. Bucket.
As you got 3 seconds left, Burden, pull-up jumper for 3.
Oh! Burden with his 22nd point from about 30 feet. Burden is absolutely on fire.
As Burden pulled up for 3 at the buzzer to connect to give Campbell their first lead of the game.
What a shot. I mean, he was 5-6 feet behind the three-point line, and he just calmly rose up and drained it. So that is 38-36. I mean, an unbelievable turnaround. The Campbell won that quarter by a score of 34-15. So a total and complete turnaround, and it was behind the electric second quarter of Terrell Burden, who sits now with 22 points. He's scoring outside with the 3 ball. He's attacking the basket. It doesn't matter that he's only 5'9". Lock there, guy's a foot taller than him in there. He doesn't care one little bit. He's still putting them in.
And I tell you, the thing that changed the offense for Campbell when they made that switch, he didn't light up the stat sheet early. That in high half, but bringing in Cameron Solomon to be the point guard.
Yeah, let Terrell Burden work off the wing. He's so much more effective so far in this game. When he's catching on the wing, he's got a little bit more to work with than having to work from the top of the circle, where the Coffee defense is able to clog the lane up a little bit more. And we really saw good, aggressive, athletic plays by Brandon Deravine, who's got 7. He's their second leading scorer. Nobody else on the team has more than 2. You flip over to the other side. Early, it was all Jayce Moore. He had 12 quick points to start the game. He's still got 18 at the half, so he's done plenty. Mackenzie McFadden's been aggressive as well in the fast break, and he's got 8 to be their secondary scorer. Who else is going to step up? I think you got to look into the second half. If you're Coach James Quinn, who else can I count on? Drew Thomas was trying to get posts early. He was not able to connect on anything. No points in the paint, no points from the wing. He took a number of open three-pointers. And then if you flip back to the Coffee Trojans, where else are we going to see that? Kevon Moore has scored well for them coming into this game, only played kind of spot minutes. He's only got 3 points. Where's that secondary scoring going to come? Because right now it's been Terrell Burden, Jayce Moore, and that's about it.
And I feel like they might McFadden might be featured a little bit more, as it's been a quiet
8 points.
8 points for him. You
Yeah.
know, he's a Georgia Southern commit, and he's been involved. He's been active, but it's not the Burden and Moore like performance early on.
Yeah, McFadden's done a nice job of running the floor, of being aggressive on the offensive glass, and that's where he's kind of been getting his points, is just using that athleticism and making something work. You know, he's going to have to show that he can carry a little bit more of the offense so that Jayce Moore doesn't have to do it all himself. I think we talked about it earlier. James Quinn, Campbell Spartans coach, he moved to a smaller lineup, tried initially to kind of match size with this large Coffee Trojans team, and it didn't work. Went to that smaller lineup, started trapping all over the floor, 94 feet of trapping, and it really frustrated the Coffee Trojans. It got them away from their style of game. And then all he had to do was wait for Terrell Burden to get hot, because Terrell Burden was spectacular. One of the best first halves of basketball I've seen all season so far in this early going here.
Yeah, he's looked real sharp, and it was impressive to me how quick James Gwynn, the Campbell coach, realized, you know what, we need to make a change or else we're going to get buried.
Right.
And they made that change. They've been able to work their way back, and now they're leading at half 38-36 at South Paulding High School. And it's been another good game, as we've had a host of good games all throughout this tournament.
That we have. We've had a great day at the SportalShowcase here at South Paulding High School. We appreciate the host school. They will be playing in the final matchup, the nightcap, at 8:30 p.m. tonight as South Paulding Spartans take on the Jeff Davis Yellow Jackets. As we look over to that game, Coach Gil Davis has had a fantastic start to the season, had a very young team that missed the playoffs and didn't really perform the way he was hoping last year. But they're no strangers to success, went to the Elite Eight the 2 years prior. They had a tight loss to number 1 Tri-Cities, but beat Villarica, beat Creekside, and come into this thing with a 5-2 record. Look for them to feature Cam Armstrong, one of their best players. Shane Gibson, Shamai Shields are some of the guys that Coach Gil Davis, the host school here, South Paulding, is going to look for. And when we flip over to the other side of that final matchup of the night, the Jeff Davis Yellow Jackets, it starts and it ends and it all runs through two-time All-State Jaquez Kirby. I watched this guy play in the fall. I mean, he is just straight-up athletic. They list him at 6'6". He can jump out of the gym. So you definitely want to watch that game. And then we've been told C.J. Parker, a shooter, freshman who can knock some shots down, as Kirby certainly draws a lot of attention.
So I would guess for Jeff Davis, the offense runs through him.
Oh, yeah. Even though he's a wing, he is handling the ball, and he will be the engine for that final game tonight. Should be a great one. That will go live at 8:30. Everything's running pretty much well and easily on time here. It was a great game. A day of games. We started off with Mundy's Mill and Franklin County. Mundy's Mill jumped out to a nice lead. Franklin County had a shot at the end to win it. Three-pointer that just kind of rolled around and didn't score it. But we moved then into the 2 o'clock matchup. Woodville-Tompkins, number 1, taking on Chattooga. Woodville-Tompkins blew out to a big lead in that one. Chattooga hammered back at it and had a shot to tie the game at the end. Couldn't get that one to fall. And then our 4 p.m. was our heavyweight battle. Eagles Landing Christian Academy and Grayson. Eagles Landing Christian came out fast. Grayson had a great second half, led by their star point guard, Devon Smith. And it was a great game. You can watch all those replays on Sportal TV. No,
you're right. It's, like you said, Grayson and Eagles Landing was really the only, I say, blowout game. And that was only a 9-point difference. And that's really what you want, competitive basketball all the way around for this entire tournament. Schools, you want a good non-conference, out-of-region matchup, and that's kind of one of the things that Campbell coach James Gwynn said in his interview with Kyle Sandy, one of our own, works here at Sportal as well. He's doing a host of things right now. He's saying, what Coach was saying, you have to play elite teams to be ready for their region, which is a tough region, and the state tournament. And right now he's got himself what he asked for, an early tough battle. Yeah, look, the good teams across the metro Atlanta, across the state of Georgia, if you want to compete in the GHSA at these highest levels, 6A like Coffee, 7A like Campbell, you've got to challenge yourself with these types of showcase games out of region and get yourself that hard work in November and December before you roll into region play in January. And that's what the good teams do consistently across the state of Georgia. And these two teams, they both got big ambitions. They both made it to the Final 8 last year. They each lost to the eventual champions. Coffee falling to Langston Hughes in the 6A Final 8. Campbell falling to Meadow Creek in the 7A Final Elite 8. So, that's the way these good teams are going to play it, and it's worked well for them. Take these challenging matchups and learn from them. These games effectively don't count against your region standing or your playoffs, but they're critical to develop the kind of championship medal you need to be competitive for the big dance. And it's something you might see on offensive defense for both of these teams. You see a different look. You have an idea of how your region teams are going to play, but you might not know how, when you get to this state tournament, how a North Georgia or a South Georgia team plays. And know what? I saw Coffee play, or I saw Campbell play, or we played against each other. They run a very similar offensive style, defensive style that can help you as a coach and team prepare for that style of play.
Well, we appreciate Coach Purnell Smith bringing his Coffee Trojan squad. We had to look it up. 196 miles they came from South Georgia up here to play in the SportalShowcase at beautiful South Paulding High School. We got about a minute left here. Both of the teams having a long chat back in the locker rooms as Gwynn and his Campbell Spartans will see what kind of changes they try to make as they roll in. This faster pace, this trapping style, full court, really frustrated the Coffee Trojans half-court offense and just stymied them, held them to 15 points, and they just exploded on the Campbell side, and it was really Terrell Burden. I hope they found a way to keep him red hot because that guy had his flame going full bore in the second quarter. He's got 22 to lead all scores. Jayce Moore with 18 to lead the Trojans.
It's going to be interesting to see what the starting five how the Spartans trot out the starting five. Is Solomon going to be there running point, or are they going to go back to their original starting lineup and see how it all shakes out? Because Coffee's going to have made adjustments. So we'll have to see how Campbell starts with their starting five here in the second half as it's 38-35. Campbell.
Yeah, I'd be surprised to see Coach Gwynn and the Campbell Spartans go back to that kind of bigger lineup just because.
Right.
I think this speedy or fast lineup really worked for them. And, yeah, we're going to see that exactly. Solomon's coming out there. Daravine's coming out there. And that has been the lineup that's really worked well for them. But I think the secondary scorer they need to get off here in this third quarter, it's going to be number 5, Drew Thomas. He's had a lot of nice looks at the basket. He just hasn't seen the ball go in yet.
As we're underway, McFadden passes inside to Clemens. Clemens cannot connect. As on the court for Coffee, you have Clemens, McFadden, Jayce Moore, and
looks like Solomon's going to set the offense up, and they've got Burden at the high post, which was definitely not something we expected to see. He is running at the free throw line now, amongst the trees.
But it's worked. It's been effective of him not having the ball in his hands, him being able to attack and drive to the bucket. Someone setting up him instead of him trying to set up himself or his teammates. As Moore passes inside to Clemens. Clemens can't connect, but McFadden cleans it up and still can't connect. Back the other way now, Campbell.
I can't figure out how McFadden missed that one. He had a point-blank look at the basket. They're going to jump Burden with 2 guys anytime he catches on the perimeter, it looks like.
I don't blame him as Dervine pulls up from the free throw line, can't connect. Tip in by...
I think we'll give that one to Drew Thomas.
Was that Drew Thomas?
Yeah, I think we're going to give that one to Thomas. There were a couple of guys' hands on it.
Jayce Moore, I believe, got fouled.
It was interesting. We saw there on that last possession, Coffee was guarding Burden with the larger Jordan Moore, who's got a little bit more size to put on to Burden. Maybe they'll try to see if they can get that. In the early going, they were pretty much picking him up with Nicholas Clements, number 1, who goes about the same size as Burden.
Looks like we have another foul, or do you have travel? What was the...
I think they're going to call a foul there. It's going to stay Coffee ball here. Seeing Jackson Bailey, number 15, checking in for his first action tonight, and he's out there guarding Jordan Moore away from the basket.
Moore to his brother, Moore. Drive it inside to Clemens. Clemens, a little point guard, posting up for the bucket.
That's his 5th point of the game. And
Burden looks like he's going to take it. Passes it over to Solomon. Solomon running the point.
Yeah, they moved to a bit of like a 3-2 zone for the Coffee Trojans, putting more guys along the perimeter, and that seems to help. Let's see what...
Moore drives inside McFadden. McFadden gets fouled, and that makes sense if they're going to have 3 up, 3 zone guys up and 2 in the back, because they've got smaller guys, so you got to shift your defense to counter what the offense is doing.
Yeah, Campbell's going to have to try to throw the ball over the top of those defenders. McFadden hits that first free throw. He's got 9 on the game. They're going to have to try to throw the ball over the top of this. And you can see, you can't see it on the screen yet because we're showing you the free throw, but Coffee's already set up those 3 guys along the top of the zone already. McFadden misses that second one.
40-39, 6:13 left in the third period. Campbell with the lead. Burden, ball gets tipped by Moore. Moore looks like he's losing kind of control of the ball. Jump ball. That'll stay.
Well, looks like it's going to be Campbell ball.
It'll be Campbell ball.
Yeah, Burden really seems to be struggling a bit with Jordan Moore, though the kind of larger defender has been primarily on him, and he's had a harder time with it. He's going to leave it for Solomon at the top, try to go to work on this right wing now where Clements is out there. He's kind of gotten behind the defense a little bit. Let's see if they get it to him. Nope, Bailey's going to fire for 3, way off.
No good. So what would you say would be this new plan of attack where they've got 3 small guards kind of on their perimeter, and then they've got a wing player and then a one inside. Are they still going to try to shoot, or are they going to try to work the ball inside?
They got to try to throw the ball over the top of this front line defense and get it inside, but they don't have the right personnel for that. McFadden in the open court. Burden knocks it away, and Burden's got a 3-on-1 here.
Lob to Durant. Devon can't connect, and looks like
I understand what Terrell Burden's trying to do there. He's trying to get everybody excited, pump the crowd up. But look, this is a 1-point game. He had a 3-on-1 fast break, and you just got to score the bucket there. I like those types of opportunities when they're there, but here comes Burden for 3. Oh,
can't connect. Here, back the other way. Here's Moore. Moore driving straight to the bucket, past to McFadden.
Moore is upset. McFadden wasn't looking for it. Jayce Moore says, hey, man, that's my job. This is what I do. I push the pace, and you got to have your hands up and be ready, or you're going to get the ball thrown at your head.
But I kind of see the miscommunication because McFadden's like, look, you got a straight, easy bucket to drive straight to the hoop, as that's exactly what Burden did. Drive straight to the hoop off that pass.
Yeah, nice feed from Drew Thomas in the high post. Finds Burden striking to the basket. But here comes Moore, and he's going to pull up for 3, and it's blocked. But it got blocked right into the hands of Richard Stiles for his 4th point.
Cleans up the mess, put up the point. Here's Dervon. Dervon triple teamed.
He's lucky he didn't travel there. Dervine just kind of got himself into a bad spot.
Solomon. Pass the ball inside, pull-up jumper,
and that was
nice shot by Thomas.
Drew Thomas. We've been talking about his need to be a secondary scorer. And on the other end, it's Dervine with the block.
Solomon over to Bailey. Bailey, pull up. I believe that was a chip. I believe his feet was on line, but does not connect. Goes off Dervine, and it'll be coffee ball.
Yeah, Coach James Gwynn pulled a sophomore off the bench, Jackson Bailey, in there. Guess he's a shooter. He took a couple long shots, but he does not look like he's ready for the war that is this game. Trying to get him a little bit of some seasoning, a little flavoring in a game like this. I get it. They got a 3-point lead, so they can take that kind of opportunity here. But he's back on the bench there, and this is a top-tier game. Looking ahead to McFadden. Beautiful pass by Jayce Moore.
As Solomon checks back into the game for Bailey. This is like they're more comfort how they were successful early after the rough start, as Solomon passes the ball, top of the key, Dervine. Back over to Solomon.
Now that's number 11, Mercer. Mercer with the drive and finish. And a beautiful move by number 11, Malik Mercer, one of their captains. But nobody gets back. But, oh, wait a minute. One guy gets back. It's
nice.
Burden with the block.
Blocked by Burden. Mercer can't connect.
And they got 3-on-2 if they can move the ball fast. And there it is to Moore. But Burden gets a hand on it again.
Man, the fast pace that we were talking about earlier, Brian, and this is what you're seeing these last half as Burden drives, can't connect.
Yeah, McFadden blocked that one. Burden went against 3 defenders, 2 of them a foot taller than him.
Moore over to
Stiles working it inside.
Clement, the smallest guy in the court, gets the rebound.
I think he hit the out-of-bounds line. No, they're going to call timeout.
They got a timeout. Good timeout there. They're able to get it, and the hustle on Clement, the smallest guy in this gym on the court right now, goes up for the rebound. That's just a hustle play right there, and that's big. in a game like this.
Yeah, 3-point game, and Pernell Smith says that's a place I can use a timeout. That's a good call by him to retain possession for the Coffee Trojans. This has been an up and down pace. Jayce Moore sitting there with 18 points, but that's what he had to start this half. And it's been Terrell Burden with 24. They've both been sensational. Mackenzie McFadden, you said that you wanted to see more of him in this second half. He's been active. He's got 11. And we finally starting to see that contribution from Drew Thomas. He's somebody that I thought could be a real benefit for them. He's got 4 points here in this critical third quarter. It's been an up and down style, but the scoring pace has slowed down about only 10 points for Coffee and Campbell, and Coffee has really struggled to score here in this quarter.
Jayce Moore checks the ball, gets it over to McFadden. Back over to Jayce Moore. Pull up. Can't connect. Here comes Campbell. Dishes it to Burden. Burden gets fouled by Moore in a reach-in.
Yeah, kind of a silly foul there by Moore. I mean, he's 70 feet from the basket. Burden's not going anywhere. You're not going to get that steal on a ball handler that strong. And, you're just wasting a team foul there. They got him to give. They've only got one team foul so far here with 3 minutes remaining in the third.
Ben Wills checks into the game. Check that ball in. Over to Mercer. Mercer gets double teamed, able to get us over to Solomon. And we have a foul.
Yeah, it's going to go against
Brown tried to
it looks like it's
going
to go against Styles there. And I like that they're using Drew Thomas in this kind of two-man game, kind of pick-and-roll game. It's been a nice look for him, and he's getting his opportunities. He averages 12 points. He's only got 4 so far on the night. Had kind of a rough first half, but it looks like he's getting going here and getting his opportunities.
As Simmons and Dervine check back in, Solomon and Willis will take a seat, get a breather.
Now, second free throw for Drew Thomas, and that one's good. He's got 5.
47-43, 2:40 left. Campbell on top in this third period. Jordan Moore taking the ball top of the key over to Clements. Clements for 3, connects. Wide open 3 there. Nice shot and nice ball movement by Coffee County.
Yeah, did a good job there. That was Jordan Moore. Beautiful driving kick. Nicholas Clements was just standing there by himself, and he calmly knocks it down for his 8th point of the game. And that is a 1-point game with just about 2 minutes remaining in this third.
As Burden trying to spin the ball, drive straight to the bucket. We have looks like a push on.
Yeah, Jordan Moore. They're going to get Jordan Moore. Terrell Burden. I mean, we've seen this move all night. It is his go-to. He leans into the defender, has this wicked quick spin move, and next thing you know, he's by you. And Jordan Moore just kind of put his hands on him, and it was enough to get the whistle.
Burden to check the ball out. Over to Dervine. Dervine pull-up jumper. Connects.
Good. Nice look for Dervine. He's got 9, and that's the secondary scoring that we needed to see from the Campbell Spartans. Get that lead up to 3 now.
Moore to Moore, brother to brother. Jordan Moore, top of the key, slowing it down.
McFadden wants it. He's got a size mismatch on the left wing if they can get it over to him. He's got some big size mismatch on the baseline. Don't get it to him.
Jordan, pull-up jumper, can't connect.
Not a good possession for the Coffee Trojans there. McFadden had a much smaller guy over there, Malik Mercer. He's got 8-9 inches on him. He was clapping his hands. He was calling for the ball, and Jordan Moore took a tough shot instead. Don't like that possession for Coach Smith's team. He's got to get better looks, and every possession is going to matter in this 3-point game as we roll into the fourth quarter.
Burden passes in time to Sims. Sims can't connect, but is fouled. Go to the line to shoot 2.
Free throw is going to be critical down the stretch. We've seen both teams' bigs kind of struggling at the free throw line. I got plenty of confidence in Burden and Jayce Moore shooting free throws, but everything else has been a little bit more of an adventure.
49-46, minute 30 left in this third period. Sims connects on the
That's his
first
first point of the night. He's been active. Sims has been involved in around the ball. He's helped on the glass, but that's his first bucket.
And he's just starting to get involved because he started this game and they had trouble, so he's now just getting back more in the flow of the offense and what they're trying to do.
Yeah, in the second quarter when Campbell really turned it up, they went to that smaller lineup. It was mostly Dervine really playing kind of the center position or a stretch center type position, amped up the pressure and really changed this game. Deravine's going to come out and try to guard Jayce Moore, see if he can slow him down.
As Kevon Moore checks back into the game for Coffee,
Here goes Burden. He's got numbers.
Burden drives straight to the bucket. Pass over to Dervine. Dervine gets blocked by McFadden.
Flies in there, and here comes Jayce Moore the other way. Oh, that's got to be a travel.
And it sure is. Man, the back and forth there by both these teams just shows the athleticism that both these teams have.
Yeah, we're going to try to cue up this McFadden block. Man, oh man, he came flying in on this. It was a 3-on-1, but McFadden was trailing the play. It was a little slow to develop, and you can see how he just punches that one away.
As Burden does a no-look pass to Sims. Sims can't connect. Burden gets the rebound and puts it up for 2.
Yeah, good players just find ways to score. Burden is up to 26. Ball just sort of dropped into his hands 6 feet from the basket on the baseline. That's an easy bucket. They've got a 7-point lead here. This is a critical time for Coffee Trojans and Purnell Smith. They've got to get a bucket, and if I'm Coach Smith, I'm getting the ball in my hands at Jayce Moore. Jayce Moore's got 18 points, but it was all in the first half. He hasn't scored this quarter.
And like you said earlier, look for the mismatch if McFadden's got one.
Yeah, Moore's going to throw it in over to Clements. Wide open for 3.
Connects.
Good, and he's got 11.
That's his second big 3 in a matter of possessions. One from the far corner, other one the closest corner over by the bench.
He's shooting that ball with a lot of confidence. I mean, there are great opportunities for him. His feet are set. He's looking at the basket. He's got plenty of time. And it didn't matter that Dervine was flying at him. That ball was long gone before Dervine got there.
Here's
4-point game, 30 seconds.
Here's Solomon taking back up. Let's see if they try to work this clock all the way down for one final play.
Yeah, they've given Burden a much-needed 30-second rest at the end of this quarter. Hopefully it doesn't hurt the Campbell Spartans. They're going to try to hold for a last shot. And a silly turnover. It's going to be a chance for Coffee to eke into this 4-point lead again with 16 seconds.
Yeah, I like the idea there to work it all the way down. He trusts his guys, and they unfortunately couldn't make a play. So now it'll be Coffee over to Moore. Moore drives straight to the bucket, gets bumped along the way. Let's see if it's
yeah, it's going to be a shooting foul, but he had a good opportunity to finish that one. I think if he put the ball on the floor and just gave it one more hard dribble, he would have had an easier layup. Either way, he'll go to the free throw line. He's been strong there. He's got 18 on the night, but I don't believe he scored this quarter. Pretty sure he had 18 at the half.
Yeah, they've really contained him a lot better this second half.
Yeah, and he's turned into more of a distributor. You know, we've seen him setting up McFadden, who's got 11 in this quarter, in the game, and setting up Clements with his drive and kicks. And I think he needs to start thinking about, how do I score the ball and give this team what it needs myself a little bit more. He's got 19 now, but only 1 point in this third quarter.
Yes, here comes Solomon trying to get the final shot. And we have a heave by McFadden as the buzzer goes off. So we go to the fourth and final period of this game. 53-50, Campbell with the lead.
Yeah,
with 8 minutes.
Who would have thought it, Locke? 21-4, Coffee had the lead at the end of the first quarter, and we're going to hit this final frame with Campbell sitting on a 3-point lead, and it has been behind the electric play of 5'9" senior point guard Terrell Burden. I mean, he was labeled ahead of time as one of the best point guards. Lightning quick was what our lead basketball analyst Kyle Sandy had to say. He's got 26 points. He's scoring all over the court, driving the basket, knocking down the triples. He's been spectacular.
A little bit of a slow start for him. Get comfortable. And then, like I said, with him not running the point with Solomon, and you've seen even Mercer take over some running the point as well, Burden can be more of that shooter that scores as opposed to setting up the offense. And Coach Gwynn's done a great job of seeing that in this game. I'm sure there could be other games this year where Burden's the distributor. He might score 5 points, but he's all over the place setting up his teammates.
Based on what we've seen, I can't imagine a game where he only scores 5 points. Brandon Daravine's giving him some
10, Brian, my bad.
Brandon Daravine's giving him some much-needed secondary scoring, and Drew Thomas, who didn't score in the first half, had 5 points in this critical third quarter. So they've been real key, and it's been Mackenzie McFadden and Nicholas Clement.
And they just triple-teamed McFadden there, as they were able to get it to
that was Jayce Moore working it underneath the basket, hits his 21st, and I like that. Let's get him on the block. He doesn't have to be the creator. He needs to be a scorer for this team down the stretch in a 1-point game. They're double-teaming him way away from the basket. They're not going to let Burden breathe here.
and I don't blame him what he's done to us. Sutherland's in this game. Dervine, pull-up jumper, can't connect. Rebound by,
Drew Thomas tries to smack it in. Jayce Moore is going to get out in transition, and he loses the handle, and Dervine's there to pick it up.
Over to Burden. Looks like Burden's going to slow it down a little bit.
Slow it down? He doesn't have slow it down in him. He's going to go. It created a lot of contact, and they're going to call the foul on Jayden Moore. No, they're going to call an offensive foul against,
I believe, Burden.
Yeah, against Burden on that one. That is the 6th team foul on Campbell. So Coffee will be shooting free throws the rest of the way. They're in the bonus.
Clemens gets fouled on the play.
Now, that's a silly foul. That's just a wasted foul by Burden, and that's going to send him to the line for 1-on-1. That is not a good foul. That's at midcourt, just unnecessary foul by Burden. And that's going to give Coffee a chance to take the lead here as Clemens goes to the line. We haven't seen him shoot many free throws, Locke, but he shoots those 3 balls with plenty of confidence.
And the thing is, it's unfortunate for Campbell. It's already a 1-and-1, and it's 6:53 in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, Coffee only has 4 team fouls, but Campbell at the 7 mark, so a little bit uneven in this second half. Clements knocks them both down. He's got 13, and he's provided a big spark for them in the third quarter and the early going of the fourth.
Just his hustle, too. His hustle plays, his wide open, get into the spot to produce as Burden dishes the ball out to
that was Drew Thomas. Burden had a great job, did a really nice job with Javon Sims in the 2-man game on pick and roll opportunity. Got a wide open look for Drew Thomas. But if he can't knock that shot down, he's got to drive the basket because they need every point here. Down by 1 now. It's been a back and forth game. And every bucket is so important. Every possession is so important here. Jayce Moore.
Moore pulls up. And it bounces around the rim, and
sometimes good scorers, they just get the lucky bounce. He's got 23, 26 for Terrell Burden. It is. Stars have been out tonight doing exactly what we expect. Drew Thomas, again, taking a shot that's not quite his thing, but Javon Sims cleans it up and gets his 4th point.
But that wasn't a force. That was just a good open shot. He just didn't connect.
He didn't really have his feet set. It was kind of an off-balance 18-footer. You know, I want to see him take that all the way, but there's Clements again. Wow, he's got 16.
And what were we talking about at halftime? Who's going to be the other scorer?
Oh, it's been Nicholas Clements. He's been fantastic at complimenting Jayce Moore. Burden just spins his way into the paint, and you know he ain't going to miss. He's got 28.
No, he's not. The way he's been playing this, the first quarter we'll disregard. The last 3 quarters he's been playing great. As he gets double-teamed, Clement, pass over to
Kevin Moore.
Pull-up jumper for Jordan Moore.
Now it's Jayce Moore. Jayce Moore unable to get it to fall, but Deravine's going to push the break. He's got Burden open on the wing.
Gets fouled on the play.
Yeah, they're going to call that one on Jayden Moore. They're keeping us on our toes. There are 4 guys named Moore on this team.
Two of them are brothers, Jordan Moore and Jayce Moore.
Jaden and Kevon Moore as well, just to keep it going. That Coffee's done an interesting job of the way they've tried to defend Burden. He's such a beast. He's got 28 points. They've used like 5 different guys on him. They're guarding him, face guarding him wherever he goes. And amazingly, he airballed that free throw. He just must be tired.
I feel like, too, the most successful guarding Bird has been Jayce Moore. Just bigger body.
Yeah, it's a tough assignment. You know, they need Jayce Moore scoring. They tried Jordan Moore on him a little while, and that seemed to slow down Burden a bit. Second free throw's good, and he's got 29. They're going to have to think about getting Terrell Burden just 30 seconds on the bench, something.
That's
he's
the
a
thing,
little tired. You airball a free throw, you know that's what that is.
Correct, but they need him to.
Oh, yeah.
59-58. Coffee has the lead. Now 61.
Athletic finish for Jayce Moore. He's got 25. McFadden with another big block on the other end. Wow.
As Burden drives to the bucket, McFadden's there, swats it away, goes out of bounds. So Campbell's ball, Burden on the checkout to check the ball out.
Yeah, we're going to give you a quick look at this McFadden block. Man, oh man, does he come flying in to swat that thing.
As Brown comes back, checks back in, got a jump ball now.
Yeah, it's a steal by Jayce Moore on the inbound, and they tried to call timeout, but it didn't work, and as a jump ball, so it'll just be a change of arrow. Campbell's going to slow this one down. I like the call by Coach James Gwynn. Like you said, he really can't take Terrell Burden out. They need his scoring and creation out there, so they're going to have to get him rest. And if I'm Coach Gwynn, I'm holding this huddle on the bench and letting Terrell Burden sit himself down and get a little breather because he is working hard out there. It's been a great back-and-forth game. Campbell holding on, Coffee holding on now to a 3-point lead with just about 5 minutes left in this game.
I'm looking at it now. He must have plenty of gas left in the tank. He's not even drinking water over there, so he's good, Brian.
All right, we're not going to worry about it. I'm not going to tell him how to manage a guy who's got 29 points through 3.5 quarters. He's doing a fantastic job. It's been a great game for both him and Jayce Moore, who's got 25 now. And what I like about Jayce Moore is he's getting his points around the bucket here in this third and fourth quarter. He's so effective around the basket. Does a great job down there, and I like the way they're feeding him there. Under 5 minutes remaining now.
Top of the key for Campbell. Three-pointer is no good.
Yeah, that was Ben Willis. We haven't seen him in the game or shooting much. Didn't really need to take that three at that point. Not sure that's the shot that James Gwynn would have wanted off that timeout.
Moore trying to set up the offense. Far corner, over to McFadden. Over to Clements. Clements pulls up for three, can't connect. Rebound.
Nice rebound
Campbell.
by Willis. Yeah, nice rebound by Ben Willis. It's kind of his first extended run in the game. Mercer for three. Oh, it was way off the mark. And a silly foul given by Darvine. McFadden had all the position on that rebound, and Darvine just reached around his back.
It was just, like you said, like a lack of judgment of not even thinking, I'm just going to grab, thinking I'm going to grab him the ball, and you reach around him, and
that's going to send him to the free throw line. They're at 18 fouls. It's going to put McFadden down there. Now, look, McFadden's probably not the greatest free throw shooter based on what we've seen so far, but you just don't want to give him that opportunity for those easy buckets.
Especially in a 61-58 game. Coffee has the lead. 4:06 left in this game. McFadden misses the front end of the one-on-one.
All right, so they don't pay the price for it because McFadden can't convert the front end. But still, you got to be smart here. You don't want to give him those opportunities. Darvine working one-on-one with McFadden, trying to get something going.
Looks like they're going
to let Burden try to go against Jayce Moore now. Let's see what they got here.
Let's see what Burden's going to do. Drive straight.
Oh, it's so pretty. Burden, he looked at the screen from Javon Sims and just went the other way, and the defender, Jayce Moore, just wasn't ready for it.
We have a travel now by Clements.
We'll give you a quick look at this one here on the call. He just looked at this screen. He saw the screen to his right. Everybody thought he was going right. He just exploded to the left and hit the little floater in the lane. Yeah, it is just pretty basketball by Terrell Burden.
As Kevin Moore checks in for Coffee. Burden will check the ball out.
He's going to let Darvine take it up the court now. Nope, he's going to keep it himself. We're done with that part where he's not going to handle the ball handling responsibility. Now, look, they've given him a bit of room here. All he's got to do is beat his first man, and sure enough, he does. He's got 33. That is just a big mistake for the Coffee Trojans, but Jayce Moore is going to erase that mistake on the other end. He's got 27.
And we got a timeout now for Coffee, and that's the thing with Burden. You give him an inch and he takes it. You give him 3 inches, you know he's going to take it. And
yeah, they just kind of came down the court in a spread look, and everything kind of spread out. Coffee didn't have the secondary defender there. You cannot guard Terrell Burden tonight with one man. I don't care who it is. And but Jayce Moore doing what he's done all night. See it here. He just beats the defense. He went through 4 guys and finishes at the rim and keeps the 1-point lead for the Coffee Trojans.
And that's the thing we saw in the first half. Him breaking away from the defense and finger rolling in. We haven't seen that as much this second half.
Well, Jayce Moore has 27, and he is being outscored by Terrell Burden with 33. Totally different styles. Terrell Burden driving the basket, knocking down threes, and Jayce Moore is he's just outrunning the defense in transition you can't slow him down. You can't stop him when he gets into the paint. He weaved through 4 defenders to score that last bucket, give him that 1-point lead. Coffee, like you said, called that quick timeout to just kind of settle the team, get the right personnel in there as we roll into just about 3 minutes remaining in this fantastic game here. Number 3 ranked 6A Coffee Trojans taking on a good, strong 7A squad in the Campbell Spartans.
As 63-62, 3 minutes and counting here at South Paulding High School. Campbell.
Burden wants to reset from this right wing over there. Oh, bad pass, and guess what? It's Jayce Moore on the run, spinning. Unable to finish, though. Ball's bouncing around.
McFadden passes it back out to Moore. Moore can't connect, back the other way.
Look out, it's Burden in the open court.
Oh, he passed it.
Yeah, I'm as surprised as you are there. Looked like he could finish it. They call a timeout. It's going to be a timeout for Coach Quinn. I'm as surprised as you are. Burden looked like he could have finished that off himself. He left it. Probably the right basketball play to Cameron Solomon. But, man, oh, man, when you've got 33 points and you're that red hot, I want you to finish that one.
Right, or at least go up, look for contact. Because he's driving. There's a defender that I couldn't remember I didn't catch quite who the defender was of Coffee County, but drive that. If you miss it, maybe you go to the foul line and shoot 2.
Yeah, they had numbers there, too. You know, on the other end, when Coffee came down with that offensive rebound, Clements was standing on that far corner, and he was clapping his hands. He was screaming for the ball. I mean, he's feeling it. He's got 16. A lot of it's come from the three-point line. Wasn't a bad play. Jayce Moore kind of shot a spinning, turning, left-handed push shot, and it just wasn't in. But, you know, I'd like to see them keep feeding Clements on the wing if he can get his feet set and a good look at the basket. He's been deadly tonight.
Right. I believe he's connected on 3, maybe 4 threes, 2 from that far corner, 2 close, and then at least 1 close to us over by the bench. And he's hustled, fought, got a few rebounds inside too. And surprisingly enough, he's been that second offensive option. You think it'd be McFadden as far as the point scorer, but it's been Clemens from the outside making the buckets. Burden check this ball in for Campbell. 63-62.
Yeah, 2:39 remaining here. It's been a fantastic game between the Coffee Trojans, Campbell Spartans. Daravine drives the basket and gets it to go, and they take the lead. Daravine's been a revelation for them in the second half. He's got 11.
Here comes Clements. Top of the key.
Being guarded by Burden. It's a good matchup.
McFadden gets double teamed. Back to Clemens. Clemens pass the ball inside. Great ball movement there as Jaden Moore connects on the 2.
Yeah, his first bucket of the night comes in a critical moment, and he's been providing good defense. Jaden Moore has gotten the assignment on Burden. Drew Thomas again with the three-pointer, and again, it's a shot I don't like.
As Jaden Moore cannot connect. Out of bounds, going back Campbell's way.
Yeah, Jayce Moore looked ahead. Again, the right basketball play to Jaden Moore, but, whoa, wait a minute.
There's a foul. I believe there's a foul on the play.
No, I think he's just giving him a minute to tie his shoe. Or are they going to call?
Yeah, I believe he said 20. I think he said more. He called Moore. Jayce Moore on the foul.
Yeah, Terrell Burden's going to go to the free throw line with a chance to take the lead back because they're now in the bonus. So Terrell Burden will go to the free throw line for 1-and-1 here, down by 1 with just under 2 minutes remaining. Big moment in the game. You know, he airballed a free throw just a few minutes ago. I think he's just tired.
As he connects on the front end of the one-on-one.
Yeah, that's 34 for Terrell Burden. He is crushing it tonight.
65 all. 1:57 left in this game. Burden at the line, second shot of the 1-and-1. Connects on that one as well.
And he gives them the lead in his 35th point out of their 66. Gives them the lead here, just under 2 minutes. Where will Coffee Trojans look for offense? It's got to start with Jayce Moore. They're just not finding the ball. He's kind of hiding on that left wing. He's got to be the catalyst for this offense.
Moore gets it inside to Jaden Moore.
Ooh, lucky. I thought that one might have been out off of Jaden Moore. Jaden Moore's getting interesting opportunities coming into the paint here down the stretch. Clements for 3. No good. But McFadden tries to keep it alive. And Solomon and Deravine are able to corral that rebound.
Burden now looks like he's about to run point. Try to set up this offense. Drive straight to the bucket. And is fouled on the play.
Lot of contact. Burden, he is fearless. He goes 5'9". Mackenzie McFadden goes 6'8", so almost a foot taller. And Burden just goes in with reckless abandon, attacking the basket. See if we can cue that up for you and give you a look at it. McFadden came over to block it and got a whole bunch of body along the way.
I believe that was a foul on McFadden.
Oh, yeah.
Burden will shoot the first one and connect.
36 points now for Burden.
And like I said earlier, you gave him an inch, so he was going to take it straight to the bucket.
And I like it. I love this aggressiveness by Burden. He has been spectacular. He's got 37 on the night, and he has been just unstoppable no matter what they throw at him. They've tried everyone on the bench guarding him, and nothing is slowing the man down.
Clemens to Moore. Moore inside to McFadden. McFadden banks it in. Timeout.
Yeah, it's going to be timeout called by Coffee off that bucket. That was Jayce Moore at his best in the half court. Took his man, got into the paint, found McFadden for a nice, easy bucket.
Slowed it down a little bit for this Coffee County team who's up-tempo. Every possession here is crucial and important. You're down to minute 6, 68-67 game. You've got what, three?
I don't know.
Maybe.
It's hard to guess because these two teams go so fast. I can't see Campbell trying to hold the ball here and run clock. That is just not their style of play. And if you try now, as Coach Gwynn tries to get away from it, forget it. Get the ball in the hands of Terrell Burden and work to get him open and let him win this game for you. And if that means you got to score 3 more times before this game ends, then so be it. He'll do it for you because he's been spectacular. He has 38 points on the night. 37 points on the night. Jayce Moore has been creating. He's got 27. It's been a fantastic game here. But I want to see these guys keep their foot on the gas because to move away from what's gotten you here is going to get you in trouble.
So you got
Coffee's going to pick up full court in looks like about a diamond press here.
So you got the 3 Moores, McFadden, and Clemens on the court for Coffee. You got Burden, Solomon, Dervine.
And they got a 3-on-2 here if they want to push the issue. Ooh, Deravine nearly traveled.
And Sutherland on the court.
Yeah, they're going to reset the ball here with Solomon, but I don't want to see him hold it. Yeah, they're going to call timeout. Coach Gwynn didn't like it. He's going to take a full timeout. He's going to take his time, and he's going to get the play he wants. They're across the half-court line. They'll set up in the front court here. 68-67. We got about a minute left. This has been a fantastic game. It's been a great day of games here at the Sportal Showcase. Make sure you tune back in at 8:30 as Jeff Davis takes on the host school here, South Paulding High School. And if today's run's any indication, every game seems to go down to a last shot. So we've only had one game that was a little bit of a wider one at a close to 10-point difference. But, man, oh, man, it's another great game, and the stars have come out at the Sportal Showcase.
But every coach here has to be happy with their matchup. They've gotten a close game, back and forth, so it really shows what these teams are made of. I mean, when you call a blowout 9 points, that's been our biggest point spread. It's really good. This has been a great tournament for everybody involved because it's been close games, good matchups, maybe different styles for these teams as we've got 48.2 seconds, 68-67. Campbell trying to set up their play here.
Yeah, they put Solomon deep in the back court. Jayce Moore is coming over to him. Oh, sorry, that's not Jayce Moore. That's Adrian Wilkerson.
Wilkerson is now in.
And they're going to try. Oh, Mose turned it over. Clemens was in the right place. They got a double team now on Burden. Burden wants to get that ball back. Solomon's going to take it out to the half court. He gets mugged by Jordan Moore. And Solomon's going to go to the free throw line, nursing this 1-point lead for a 1-and-1.
They always say free throws are always critical, close at the end of the game. We'll see what Solomon's got. So, to me, he's been a very important player today for them. Not lighting up the box score very much, but very critical running the offense as he hits the front end of the 1-and-1. You've got Solomon, Dervine, Sutherland, Simmons, and Burden on the court.
Yeah, no need for Coffee to panic here. Even if he makes this free throw, it makes it a 3-point game with 35 seconds. They don't need a timeout here. They know what they want to run in the offense, and it's got to go through number 24, Jayce Moore. They got to get him a touch here. Oh, I don't like this long three, but it doesn't matter if I like it or not because Adrian Wilkerson does. He tied the game up with a giant 3-point bucket.
That's, you know what? I trust myself. I'm wide open. I'm going to hit this.
We haven't even seen him in the game yet tonight. He comes off the bench and drains a 25-footer. Coach Purnell Smith is standing at about center court. Terrell Burden drives with 4 seconds left, bounces it around and puts it in. Terrell Burden with his 39th point of the game.
And that should not surprise you one bit. We've seen that all afternoon. With Burden, he was double-teamed, shimmied, was able to drive it.
Yeah, here we go. Take a look at it here. Burden had 2 guys guarding him out of the perimeter, makes it into the paint, and gets that thing to roll in. What an amazing play by Terrell Burden for his 39th point after Adrian Wilkerson, who I don't think's been in the game, sophomore player, comes in and drills a 26, 28-foot three-pointer to tie it. Terrell Burden says, don't worry, I'll take on the whole defense. I got you. And he scores the bucket here again. Another look at Terrell Burden. He has been absolutely sensational. Now, Kyle Sandy has not given out the Sportal TV MVP T-shirt to somebody on a losing team. But even if Coffee somehow manages to get this one in, I got to believe Terrell Burden is going to get that T-shirt.
And it looks like we have a few clock issues. They're trying to figure out.
Yeah, they're going to have to run it down at 2-ish seconds, it looked like.
I believe so. 72-70. Campbell with the lead. It'll be Coffee's ball.
Yeah, they're going to have to run this thing down. It's only a 2-point lead in the bonus. So, Campbell cannot afford to give a foul here. See exactly where they're going to run this thing down to. They're trying to dial it up to exactly what they want it dialed up to.
About 2 to 1.8. So it's going to be 2.4 left. Now it's been changed to 2.7 left.
2.7. Okay, well, we know that the Coffee Trojans have got a guy who can get down this court fast, but interestingly enough, they've got Jayce Moore as the inbounder down there.
They're going to try to get it McFadden, I believe, in the post. We'll see how this shakes out.
And they're going to take a timeout. That's a timeout by Campbell. Campbell, I don't think, was expecting Jayce Moore to be throwing this thing in. I don't like it. I think, he has shown over and over again in this game that he can get down the court real fast, Jayce Moore, and that he can weave through the entire defense if he has to. I'd like to see them inbound it to him and just see if he can make it work, because if he's got to throw this giant football pass the length of the court, it's anybody's ball. Who knows where that thing's going?
And the thing is, they still got McFadden, he's had a quiet game. He's been productive, been around the ball and the paint, but he's been relatively quiet.
Yeah.
And you can't sleep on that guy.
No.
He's a Georgia Southern commit for a reason. And maybe it was, I'm going to call a timeout to see the.
Well, they're going back with Jayce Moore as the inbounder. They've got nobody on the near side of the court. They're probably going to split Clements or someone towards the basketball. It's got to go back to Jayce Moore. He's going to launch from the half court. Oh, and it just falls out. Oh, man. I don't know if they could have gotten any closer with such a little minute of time, but man, oh, man, what a fantastic game. Terrell Burden with a bucket with 2 seconds left. His 39th point, the high scorer by a mile at the SportalShowcase today. Locke, it's been a fantastic game. Wow, that was a fun one.
And you're right, Brian. Just the back and forth, the battle of adjustments, the change of between the first quarter and the second quarter. It was 21-4 going into the second quarter. By halftime, it was 38-36 Coffee. Just the impressiveness of the coaching adjustments, the style of play, how they're able to figure out a hole and what makes their teams successful was on display today.
Well, to nobody's surprise, Kyle Sandy will hand that Sportal TV MVP shirt to Terrell Burden with a spectacular game tonight. He was Mr. Everything. He had a real slow start to this game, but he came on like a hurricane. So great game by Terrell Burden. A lot of fun here. Make sure you come back for the nightcap. Jeff Davis, Hazelhurst, Georgia, taking on the host team, South Paulding High School. For Brian Zwerner, Locke Hoover, our producer for this game, Ramin Forgani, and our cameraman, Andrew Garner, we say thank you and good night.